Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Safeguard Insurance Studio. Your host, Matt McJunkins and Matt Wilcox, with Thomas Thrash and Barry Grooms. Presented to you by Hootens.com, your source for Arkansas high school football. You are now Between the Mats. Welcome to Between the Mats. We are live here in the American Safeguard Insurance Studio. I am Matt McJunkins, and alongside me are the three amigos. Matty Wilcox, how you doing, Matt?
I'm good, brother.
Dusty Clark from Hootens.com. How you doing, Dusty?
Doing great.
And the owner of Hootens.com. 10 touchdowns in one game from Pulaski Academy.
The man, the myth, the
That's
legend.
what I go by. That's what I go by.
Yeah, that's how you introduce yourself to people.
10 touchdowns.
Yeah, hey, my name's 10 touchdowns, Thomas Thrash.
Hey, but funny thing is, when Ren Heffley was at Presbyterian with Coach Kelly,
yeah,
he threw 10 in a game, and I told him he's now in the club. So we're getting T-shirts, and I never end up getting it. Just it's gonna be like a 10 fitness, a 10 and a 0, you know.
Yeah,
and then never ended up doing it.
So I don't know if you knew this, but Dusty hired me for Hootens this week.
Oh, yes, he will be. You will be with him as the assistant head filmer at the Quitman
of the number 4 filmer. From what I know.
Hey, I'm at 3 now.
Oh, really? Somebody died?
No.
Daryl left his camera at home.
No.
Does this come with the per diem?
He's actually 5, by the way.
He's moved down.
Yeah. No. We got another filmer, and he's still moving the same. He just one less day.
So is it like you got a new one and you don't know if he's worse than him yet?
No.
So he
automatically
better.
He's way better. Way better.
Man, Dusty, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'll buy you some catfish Friday night.
Hey, I'll hold you to that right now.
All right, Matty. So you want to start with 2 or 7?
Let's start with 7.
9, week 9.
Week 9, man.
And we got some matchups this week.
It's hard to believe it's almost over.
I know it. You want to start us off?
Let's start with the big matchup. Little Rock Central and Southwest is Thursday.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
That's going to be a playoff seed, baby.
All right. So in 7A last week, we had Bryant, number 1, with a tough win against Cabot. That was a good ball game down to the very end. Cabot was number 2. They lost to Bryant 24-10. Conway, number 3, took care of Central 49-0. Number 4, Bentonville over Rogers 44-16. Number 5, Fayetteville beat Springdale 28-6. Number 6, Bentonville West beat Heritage 63-21. Rogers, like we said, lost to Bentonville 44-16. North Little Rock at number 8 won their 3rd in a row, beating Northside 38-14 in a convincing win there. Number 9, Northside, and then number 10, Southside won 58-44 against Harbor. And so.
Hey, Jonesboro gets their first win in 7A. I know it's against Southwest, but it's their first win, and so Southwest will be fighting for a playoff spot. So they're going to fighting for who plays pretty much Rogers or Fayetteville. Is that correct?
They kind of went through what we did at Greenbrier. They got moved up after a big senior class.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so this week in week 9 and 7A, Bryant stays at number 1 until somebody can knock them off. If they do, they will play at North Little Rock this week. Could be a trap game a little bit. They got Conway looming the next week.
North Little Rock's playing a lot better. Malachi Gober, their quarterback, played really well last week.
Has it been 5 years since they've lost in the state of Arkansas?
This is 50 games. They're 49 right now. This will be 50.
But this is the 5th season they've not lost in Arkansas.
That's unreal.
And Dusty decides last week to go ahead. You know what? I'm going with This is the week.
Hey, I was feeling really good until that second pick. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, hey, we're living a little La Vida Loca, and then bam.
I'd go. Definitely go with Cabot. Hey, but Cabot actually could have had their shot. That's not a terrible pick.
The first touchdown, I thought it could be interesting.
Yeah. So we kept Cabot at 2 and played a good game against Bryant. Number 3, Conway. Number 2, Cabot will be at home against Northside. Number 3, Conway will be at home against Jonesboro. Number 4, Bentonville will go to Springdale. Number 5, Fayetteville will play at home against Heritage. Number 6, West will play at home against Southside. 7, Rogers against Harbor. Number 8, North Little Rock against Bryant. 9, Northside against Cabot, and Southside at Bentonville West. So that hadn't changed much in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
No, it really hadn't. And it seems like every year, 6, especially 7, but But because you get to the bottom of the 7 in the top 10, and you may have a couple with a losing record.
That's right. Yeah.
You just don't have that many teams.
And so essentially, though, somebody in the Central will be playing a 7A West team that they will beat. You know, the 4 or 5 seed. You know, the Central is just that good.
That's right. Sure. Well, you know, how many times has Cabot gone up there and won in the playoffs?
Exactly.
And you know, it's not that long ago that the West kind of dominated 7A.
That's right. You're exactly right.
Exactly. Back when before
Bryant.
Before the splits.
Before the splits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if how much that had to do with it, but
It had to have some effect.
yes. I mean, everyone split but Fayetteville. Fayetteville is still like, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
how
got
many
the
kids they have?
splits. You got the splits, and you got Jamie Mitchell coming to North Little Rock. When Jamie Mitchell came to North Little Rock, that's when Bryant hired Buck James.
Sure.
And that's when the Central all got on weight, programs.
And the 212 was born.
12 came
Hey,
in.
did they not work out before?
I don't think they worked out quite like that.
did I
From
tell
what
you-
I've read, he is like that was what he did. Like he just went in
Buck?
there and said, "Yeah,
You know, Buck, they work out Monday through Friday.
6
They have-
a.m..
Yeah, 6 a.m. But they have like everyone does it.
Yeah.
Before school, even on Fridays, they still work out.
So my buddy's a BSN rep, and the one thing he's told me when I talked to him about Bryant, he's like, dude, you've got to come with me sometime. Not to watch him practice, just to watch him work out.
Yeah.
He said it's unreal.
janitor's in there doing curls."
Hey, and they're feeding those kids like you would not believe.
Yeah, they've got milk and peanut butter and jelly before and after practice.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. So we go to 6A, PA.
The game of the year, pretty much for
Yeah,
all
for 6A.
classification. Oh no, I think for all classification, just for the anticipation.
Anticipation.
Not necessarily for the quality. I mean, it's going to be a great game, but I mean, how many guys have been looking forward to this for when they saw it on the schedule?
Sure.
I mean, at Greenwood, you got 2 of the best programs for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
I mean, PA just seems to just, you know, it doesn't matter what class you put them in. They're gonna compete at the highest level.
That's right.
I don't think anybody would argue that they're the best team in 6A right now.
2 of the best quarterback factories in the state.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
And hey, yeah, so in the visiting locker room, when you come out, and this won't intimidate PA, but it intimidates everybody else. Remember, we were Sylvan Hills. We come out, and so you're visiting. You walk out the field, and there's a big wall of all the Greenwood State championships. Like it's like boom, 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 and I mean everyone. You can't help but look. Dang. This is,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's intimidating.
Hey,
And
when-
PA will be like, they had a pretty good year. They're not bad.
Hey, you're forgetting the last thing.
These guys aren't bad.
The last thing on that wall says you're next.
It does. Yes, it does. It's so
hey,
awesome.
So when I was a 9th grader, I moved up after junior high ball, for the playoffs. A lot of teams do that, especially small schools. And we played at Barton. And when you go to Barton, I don't know if it still is, but then you dress in the gym.
Yeah.
And they walk you down a hall of 847 banners.
Yes.
And it's like they're like 3 inches above your head. Yeah. And it's just like, we just want you to see this on your way over here
Undefeated
exactly.
season.
to a hardwood
Undefeated
floor where you're
season.
going to sit and put your
When you
pants on.
come out, the last thing you see is the Greenwood banners of then you're next. It's like, oh. I mean, because in Silver Hills, our guys are looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all going, wow, they won it this year. I mean, I was like, hey, guys, stop.
I was like, joke's on you. We weren't even supposed to make the playoffs.
Hey, with the same. hey, that year we won 3 games regular season, won 2 in the playoffs.
There you go.
Exactly. We went up there and it was like a 3-point game and a half.
It was 10-7 at half, and we had the lead. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, that was insane because Marion beat us and then we beat Marion at their place.
Yep.
And they talked a lot of trash. Remember that?
At PA?
No,
No,
it's
no, no.
at Sylvan Hills.
Sylvan. Oh, yeah. When you were coaching.
Yeah. And it's the first year we moved up to 6A. We're like, this is easy.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, we were coming out of the 5A Central with PA,
Right.
and we're watching films like, well, these guys aren't PA.
Yeah.
But they were. Don't get me wrong, they were good.
Yeah.
But when you play PA, you're playing the
different
system.
animal,
You're
yeah.
playing the machine.
So it was like 3 years ago, I think, that Sylvan went to the semifinals or the finals.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
And so they just decided somewhere. Me and Matt talk about this every week. They just decided somewhere in mid-season, if we just don't let anybody score, they can't beat us.
That's exactly,
So
exactly.
they just beat everybody 7-0.
Yeah, no, we weren't scoring on offense, but you weren't scoring on defense.
Right.
And the only reason PA scored so much on us, is because of the onside kicks. We gave up like 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And it's like, we were down 41-7 at half that one game, but it felt like it was a 14-7 game.
Yeah.
I mean, it really felt that way.
All right, so our top 10 from last week, PA beat Greenbrier 50-14, beat up Greenbrier team. That team is, talk about perseverance. Those boys deserve some credit because not only did they lose 18 starters. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
From last year graduating, half the starters this year are out.
We've got 9 hurt right now.
Yeah. And so when you consider who plays both ways, you literally have over half of your starters
It's
out.
kind of like Boonville, except for Boonville's 9 or 50% of their team.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So PA beat Greenbrier. Number 2, Greenwood beat Russellville 42-21. That was a close one at half. Number 3, Catholic beat Jacksonville 42-6. Number 4, Benton scored 62 points as they beat Searcy 62-28. Lake Hamilton had the week off. Number 6, Christian beat Van Buren 47-14. Marion beat Sheridan. Pretty big win right here, 43-7. West Memphis beat Greene County Tech 42-29. You know, Greene County Tech just kind of they can't quite get the wins over there, but they play tough every week.
They play Catholic tough.
Yeah, and they're another one that's moved up.
Yeah.
El Dorado beat Sylvan Hills 37-19, and then Russellville lost to Greenwood. So this week, PA, number 1, playing number 2 at Greenwood. Number 3, Catholic, 8-0, playing at El Dorado. 4, Benton's going to play West Memphis at home. Number 5, Lake Hamilton, they're back to play this week. After a week off, they'll play Russellville at home. Christian's going to go to Greenbrier. Number 7, Marion versus Sylvan Hills at home. Number 8, West Memphis will travel to Benton. Number 9, El Dorado versus Catholic, which we mentioned earlier. That could be a pretty good game.
Hey, El Dorado's playing a lot better.
They are.
That's going to be a good game because I think, this is probably the best test for Catholic.
I think so, too.
They have to drive the 3 hours.
That game that they beat, they just put it on Benton early in the season. I think that was just an anomaly. If they got Benton again right now, it'd be a little bit different ball game.
It took Benton a couple of weeks to get their bearings about them.
Yeah.
But they're playing on a different level now.
They are.
And number 10, Russellville will go to Lake Hamilton.
Yeah, that El Dorado and Catholic game should be a good one. And then,
I agree.
Of course, the Greenwood PA game will be be fun. All right, so 5A we go, and a little bit of shake-up in 5A this week. Number 1 last week was Parkview, played a kind of a struggling Magnolia team, losing their 3rd in a row. Parkview won that one 42-28, but Magnolia was able to score on Parkview quite a bit.
Yeah, close game, too.
Yeah.
Were they doing the pass? Did they do it with the pass?
Who's that?
Magnolia.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I don't. Do they have a pass? And if they did, they drew it up out on the field.
It's called the triple.
Yeah, Curry's good. He's a good running back.
is.
I mean, he's tough, but Parkview just does so well against the run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I thought maybe they did a pass.
Number 2, Robinson with a squeaker. They get by Mills 29-28. Mills scores with how much time was left and went for 2.
It was the last play of the game.
Was it the last play?
Yeah. So they are going to win or lose on that 2-point conversion.
Well, I think there may have been 4 seconds.
Oh,
did
they kick off?
I think so.
They may have kicked off. I watched it.
Yeah, I did too. I just forgot.
But literally, it looked like he was going to score. He had the edge.
He did.
He gets within a yard, and this linebacker just meets him.
Wow.
Puts him down.
I'll be dang.
It's one of those where
Robinson knows how to win.
Yeah.
Knows how to
right, that's it. Well, and it looked like maybe it caught him by surprise. Like if he'd have known it was coming, he could have bulked up, his body.
Hey, but
it just kind of hit him.
Shaw is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah. Number 3, Camden Fairview won 49-0 over Hope. Number 4, Shiloh beat Farmington 51-30. Number 5 was Farmington. Number 6, Hot Springs beat Texarkana 55-15. Magnolia was number 7. Number 8, Mills. Number 9, Valley View beat Batesville Southside 21-14. Southside's lost a couple weeks in a row, just close ball
a few
games.
games.
They've
by
got
a
a
touchdown.
backup quarterback, and they got so I was there in the second half. It's 14-14 half. They get the ball. They drive down. It's 4th and 8, and they throw not a Hail Mary, a wheel route, and then there's a questionable pass interference call. I'm not going to blame the refs or anything, but it's a questionable pass interference call. And then the next play, Huff, the guy that's been that offered by Sam Pittman, the linebacker for Valley View, just takes it out of their hands on the 5-yard line that runs it.
No.
And so it was a really good game. It was a really good game. But, I mean, they had their chance. I mean, they were in there driving to score, turned it over. I mean, so with a backup quarterback.
They've played Nettleton. Was it Nettleton that they beat
12-13?
Or they got beat by 1, and then Valley View by 7.
Yeah.
And now they got Batesville this week.
Yeah. First time those two teams have ever played on the football field.
And Batesville beat Nettleton by the
block kick.
The block kick. Nettleton is going to win the game with the extra field goal. They block it and return it 98 yards for a touchdown.
I bet you that stadium is absolutely packed Friday night.
Oh,
Yeah.
without a
Where's
doubt.
is it at Batesville or at Southside?
It's at Southside.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, there's not a lot of love lost between those two.
They've been aching for this, both sides, for eons.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so much that Batesville Southside has dropped Batesville from the name. It's just Southside now.
Yeah, they don't want to be affiliated.
So number 10 was a win, and they beat Paragould 35-7. So our new top 10 this week, we have Parkview staying at number 1. Robinson, even though they got by on a squeaker, we kept them at number 2. Number 3, Camden Fairview will go to Hot Springs this week, and this will be a great ball game here. Tough 2-week stretch for Camden. They've got Fairview's got Hot Springs this week and then Parkview next. So these 2 weeks will tell a lot about them.
Yeah, and both of those are going to be games.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you happen to go,
Did you mention the Shiloh game last week?
We just said the score.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 30-30 game with I don't know how. Did you watch it?
I didn't. I was busy.
Yeah, no. Well, they have live stream. You can watch it again. But no, it was a 30-30 game, and then Shiloh just took off.
yeah,
I mean, so it ended up being like 50-something to 31, whatever. But it
right,
was
51-30, I think.
yeah, and it was a great game, and then Shiloh just pulled away at the end.
Yeah.
I'll be dang.
If you go to the Batesville game Friday night, stop by the Triangle Cafe. We have gone to Batesville Southside twice this year to play Pee Wee football. And both times I've eaten there. And both times I've sent pictures to y'all, and somebody, Mr. Bohannon, makes a comment about the heart
Oh,
attack.
yeah. That's the place.
It's so good.
I thought it's diabetes he was talking about.
That was me.
okay.
You brought up.
Okay, because I got to go see that because that's a.
I'm gonna tell you, man, it is good.
Do they have just breakfast or?
No, they serve they serve stuff all day long, all different stuff, but they serve breakfast all day.
Okay.
That's
okay.
why,
That's the
you
one I
know.
need.
I did not mention Parkview will play at home against Lakeside, and Robinson will play at home against Whitehall. Number 4, Shiloh Christian will play at Prairie Grove, and this will be more than likely for the 5A West Championship.
You mean the 1-4A championship?
That's right.
Both those teams won 4A last year. Now they're playing 5A West ball.
That's
And
exactly
they're
right.
playing for the championship.
Yeah.
Number 5, Hot Springs, as we mentioned, will play at home against Camden Fairview. Number 6, Farmington at Pea Ridge. Number 7, Magnolia. Even though they've lost 3 in a row, we still feel like that this bunch is going to cause some problems in the playoffs. They will be at DeQueen. Number 8 is Mills, and they will play at Morrilton. Number 9, Valley View, will play at home against Nettleton. And then number 10, Wynn, will be at Forest City.
Is Van Zant gonna be back for week 10
Van Pascal.
or playoffs?
No, from Farmington.
No,
Oh,
Van
my
Zant.
bad. I have no idea.
I've heard that he might be.
I talked to him.
Tell you, they're
5 or 6
tough.
weeks
They're
ago.
tough without him.
I
Can you
know.
imagine when they get him back? They just play physical.
Who do they match up with in the playoffs first round? Because if they get the 4 seed, which I think they are, right?
They should be at least the 3.
Okay, 3, and then
Yeah, Harrison probably
Harrison
4.
4. So there's some 2 seed out
Shallow.
there that's going
Harrison's
to
got head-to-head over him, though. Harrison
Yeah, but Harrison's dropped.
I think they're matched up against the East first round.
Yeah, they
Oh,
should
so
be.
it'll be so Valley View will win the East, and then it'll be Batesville win
They'll be the 2 seed.
Farmington.
Yeah, who's going to be above them besides Shallow?
Prairie Grove,
If Prairie Grove, who does Prairie Grove have last game?
Farmington.
Oh, that'll determine it then.
Well, then
So
we don't
they'll
know.
play Prairie
Yeah.
Grove will play Shallow this week, and then next week they'll play Farmington. So as long as those they don't beat either one of them,
Yeah.
they'll be the 2 seed. I personally think Farmington's better than Prairie Grove. Nothing against Prairie Grove.
Hey,
Farmington's
that's a 7-mile rivalry, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a triangle right there between those 3.
Yeah.
Springdale's right there from Farmington.
And then who else is in? Then you got Pea Ridge up there too. I mean, that's a little farther away, but yeah.
All right, brother, you take us through 4A.
4A. 4A is, man, you talk about just loaded from top to bottom. And it's hard to do 10 because you need to add about 4 or 5 more. that
You
should
got
be-
1-win teams out the top 10.
that are not in the top 10. You got 3 or 4. That's right. So Arkadelphia, they beat Ashdown 41-12. Kind of a statement win over there in that conference.
It was a 7-point game at half though.
It was.
Yeah, so Ashdown just doesn't. They've got the talent to do anything, and then they just get down, and then they kind of quit. And it's like they get 1 touchdown against them, and then they get down. Kind of like you were talking about another team earlier.
Well, and I think I will say this about Arkadelphia's coaching staff that I've noticed, they make really, really good adjustments.
Yeah.
They did against us last year. They did against Hot Springs to pull off that win this year.
Yeah.
And, a couple times they haven't been up by a lot at half, but
Yeah.
they've made adjustments. They've come out and they've taken care of business.
Yeah, Shucker's a good coach.
He is. Number 2, Harding Academy beat Riverview 41-6 in that walkover. I don't wonder if they even bust. They probably just walked. Star City beat Hamburg 36-0. 4 Warren beat Monticello 34-0. 5 Stuttgart beat Heber Springs 38-6. I think Cabo was up there. Him and Randy.
Yeah.
Number 6, Malvern was off last week. Number 7, Pocahontas beat Jonesboro Westside 41-7. Haskell Harmony Grove, number 8, off. They're still undefeated. Number 9, McGee beat Dumas 41-6. And number 10, Nashville beat Waldron 40-6. So this week, number 1, Arkadelphia with another off week, the second this month.
You know why, right?
Well, you told me earlier, so yeah.
Yeah, so Genoa Central and Fountain Lake both dropped in the spring to 8-man. So now the 4, are they the 1-4?
7.
7-4, yeah, 7-4.
Yeah.
So now they've got 6 teams.
And let's
instead
be
of 8.
honest, nobody's lining up for week 7, 8, or 9, or 10 to play Arkadelphia.
No, hey, we got a schedule. You want to do this right before the playoffs? No,
we're good.
Hey, there is one big one next week that's kind of just random that you're never going to see. Lone Oak's playing Nashville next week.
Are they
Really?
Oh yeah,
That's making up the
Where
Genoa
is it?
game and making
Where's it going to be?
I think it's at Lone Oak.
Oh yes,
That might be good.
Yeah.
That's a great game.
There's going to be a lot of good games next week, though.
Yeah.
Number 2, Harding Academy 7-0 at Heber Springs. Number 3, Star City plays Monticello at home. Number 4, Warren plays Helena at home. Number 5, Stuttgart goes to Lone Oak. That one might be fun.
It would be.
Number 6, Malvern plays at Nashville. Well, I would say this one's going to be good, but Malvern's offense is so good.
Yeah.
Dupree is so good.
Only thing you might
He's a
look
junior.
at here is this could be a trap game for Malvern.
It could be.
Looking ahead to that Arkadelphia
Well,
game.
and I mentioned this about Nashville playing Ashdown 2 weeks ago. We're going to find out if Ashdown's going to quit or not, because Nashville, they don't care about anything but football.
That's right.
So they're going to play every week, whether they're 1-9 or they're 9-1.
Yeah.
They're coming to play football on Friday nights. So you can expect they're going to come out to play Malvern. And if Malvern's as good as I think I am, it could be like another Arkadelphia Nashville. But it could be like a Ashdown Nashville.
Yeah.
So number 7, Pocahontas plays Blytheville at home. Number 8, Haskell Harmony Grove plays Mayflower at home. 9, DeWitt. Number 9, McGee plays DeWitt at home. And then number 10, Nashville. But, outside the top 10, 2 teams especially that deserve to be mentioned because they very easily could be there. Rivercrest, 6-3. They've lost to Mills by 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then who else? They have a
Valley View by 3.
Yeah.
Pocahontas by 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
And they just beat Ozark, wasn't it?
They beat Gosnell.
Gosnell by 28.
Yeah.
And then you got Elkins, who just beat Ozark.
Yeah. Just punished
Ozark, and they're 7-1.
Yeah. That score really surprised me, especially as good as Ozark had been playing up to that point. So that'll take us into 3.
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Out of all the teams that moved up, like Harding Academy, have any of them not had success?
I mean,
Like-
other than Greenbrier.
Well, I'm talking about for the equity. The
Oh, you know, huh?
I mean, even the teams
Like
that
the
moved
privates?
up, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every one of them is the exact
Yeah.
same.
The only one that's moved down not had success is Arkansas Baptist or
Yeah.
Baptist Prep.
Yeah. that's
Christian, very successful, not as to the level they were at 5.
Yeah, but they were also probably just better last year.
right. Yeah.
True. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, PA. Well, and I guess I'm counting Robinson.
Yeah.
And Mills too. Success. Mills had more success now.
Parkview.
Than they did. Yeah, Parkview.
Mm-hmm.
Harding Academy. Who else? Oh, Catholic moved down.
Catholic
now,
moved
now
down,
they're
yeah.
living the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
You know,
they
Shi-
but before
Shiloh-
this year they
Shiloh.
wouldn't have done that.
Right.
No, and then Shiloh. Yeah, I mean, so
Shiloh,
everyone's just making it look exactly the same.
Yeah. That's right.
So there's going to be come to a point where they're all going to be pretty much 6 and 7A. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think you might have said this the other day. PA's headed to 7A.
Oh,
in 2 years,
Without a
they'll
doubt.
be in this.
Then it'll be in the GAC after that. I mean,
All right, so 3A last week, Prescott beat Smackover 47-20. Number 2, Boonville took it on the chin, 42-14. And I didn't realize until today
I didn't either.
that they were out that many starters. So I think they were out. What'd y'all say? Nine starters.
So I'm watching that game Friday night, and I'm texting y'all going, listen, I don't care if Goff is Superman. If he's in the game, it ain't this much difference. Yeah. Well, I didn't know there was 9 of them out.
Yeah.
So totally different game.
We didn't find out. Dusty didn't find out until he got there from the Charleston coaches that he's like, because I sent him there to literally just film. I mean, they had a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they got finalists on both sides, and then we're sitting there like, well, okay.
I'll say this about Boonville though. Those kids were not backing down.
Oh no!
I mean, before the game, they're all into it.
That's their mentality.
But that's a winner's mentality.
Yeah,
sure.
And they dressed out 25 kids and they gave it. I mean, that guy's playing out of position.
Hey, but how does this affect the playoff bracket?
Well,
you don't have to go to Prescott.
You don't have to go to Prescott, and you're probably avoiding Prescott or Rising on the other side. So.
Right.
I'm not saying avoid.
So the 2 seed is probably. I mean, I'm not saying they did it. I mean, I'm just saying it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
The 2 seed has a really
could line up better for them.
Sure.
If you're trying to win a state championship, I mean,
hey, same thing happens in 4A. I mean, if whoever loses between Malvern and Arkadelphia is going to not have to play Harding Academy in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's right.
You mentioned what you're talking about, that mindset.
And Arkadelphia, what is it? Arkadelphia and Harding both in the semis?
Semis.
Yeah, or they were Malvern. Whoever wins between Arkadelphia and Malvern. Yeah. You were talking about that mentality. That is so true. Those kids expect to win.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Harding got beat by Henderson State 2 weeks ago. I was at the game. Before the game, I'm talking to Coach Simmons, and he just says, listen, we're facing a lot of adversity this week. He said, we got a lot of kids hurt. We got a lot of freshmen playing defense. He said, but every one of these kids expects to go out there and win.
Yeah.
And that's right. That's the mentality they have. Cards stacked against them. Okay, but we're still going to win.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
I mean, just new guys scoring touchdowns, new guys taking tackles.
That's right.
You weren't. Trace Hall and Cody Elliott still on the field.
That's right.
And they had their offensive line. Their offensive line's nasty. They're going to cause somebody problems down the way.
Hey, did y'all see the quote by Nick Saban? They asked him. They said, "Who does anybody on your team remind you of yourself?" And he said, "Do you remember this?" So he goes, "I played at Kent State, and I wasn't good enough to play at Alabama. If I see anybody that looks like me or reminds me of myself, they're not seeing the field.
I'm pulling their scholarship.
There's nobody here that reminds me of myself. I can assure you that."
But so Mineral Springs, and I know we haven't got to 2A yet, but that's what they're learning now. Mm-hmm. And teams like that who maybe at one time that was the mentality there, that was the tradition there.
Yeah.
But now they're learning how to win.
Yeah.
Because a lot of programs you see, so-and-so's out, we're done.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why are we even playing?
That's right.
Speaking of so-and-so, Brandon Scott, he missed 2 balls the other night. One was a throwaway, one was a drop.
Wow.
Let me tell you, I watched him. He was impressive.
That dude, that's the first time I've seen him live and in person. That dude throws laser beams.
That's
it's
awesome
to watch.
So number 3 is Charleston. They beat Boonville 42-14. Number 4, Melbourne beat Newport in a good ball game, 29-20. Number 5, Newport. Number 6, Rising beat Lake Village 49-34. Lake Village scored some points on Rising in that ball game. Number 7, Hoxie beat Manila 48-0. 8, Fordyce. Really surprised by this score. Camden Harmony Grove put it on them 60-14. Number 9, Glen Rose beat Two Rivers 35-8, and number 10, Center Point stays undefeated on the season, beating Paris 42-7.
So I watched the Melbourne Newport game, and let me tell you, Newport should have. I don't want to take anything away from Melbourne because I'm a Melbourne fan. I love the way they play football, but Newport absolutely did everything they could to lose that game. They fumble a kickoff. Newport scored.
He got hit in the mouth.
It was a great play by Melbourne.
Yeah, he got hit in the mouth.
He catches it and then just gets hammered.
Yeah.
And then the next kickoff, they're letting it go into the end zone, right? Kid's walking away and the ball's sitting on the 1 yard line.
Oh, my word.
Then the next play, so then he goes back and dives on it. The next play is the safety.
Wow.
And I mean, it was like that all night though.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're within 9. I mean, they were down like 21. And so
hey, how'd the Wren boys do? Those are my guys.
Yeah, what I noticed about Melbourne is they're physical and kind of methodical. They're not flashy.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're well coached,
A lot different.
disciplined.
Because I was watching the Charleston game at the same time. I had two screens going
Yeah.
here. Completely different way. I mean, watching Scott, you're like, that kid is flashy. He's good. He's everywhere. Melbourne's just, hey, we're fixing the lineup and we're just going to try to run over you.
Hey, who's number
Even
two?
though they throw the
Number
ball a
two
lot, they're
for,
still going to be
Melbourne.
physical.
Carter Bray.
Yeah, he's a beast on defense.
Well, that dude had 11 catches for 180 yards on offense. I mean, he's a beast on the freaking field.
Yeah.
And watching Newport's offense, had they had the ball as many times as they should have, it would have been different. They were
Hey, but
pretty
if you
impressive.
go to Newport though, you don't take your phone because it doesn't matter. there's zero cell service. We're trying to get messages from Daryl, our filmer, and nothing.
Well, that's anywhere south of Sheridan.
Hey, when I was at Fordyce a couple weeks ago, that was the first time I'd seen 1X in a long time.
hey, I've got Sprint, so so I don't get service anywhere.
So our new top 10 for Week 9 in 3A, Prescott stays at number 1. They'll have the week off. We put Charleston at number 2. They will play at home against West Fork. We kept Boonville up there just because of the fact they had so many starters out. We got Boonville at 3. They will play at Lavaca. Number 4, Melbourne will play at Quitman. Number 5, Rising at Barton. Number 6, Hoxie at Osceola, and this will probably decide the 3A conference championship. But they do have 6 and 2 Walnut Ridge next week.
That's our game of the week this week.
Yeah, what do you think about that one?
Well, Hoxie, one thing they got coming back is their outside linebacker Mario Armstrong. He's all-conference, all-state linebacker last year as a junior. He had 3 sacks and 6 TFLs in 3 games before he got injured.
Wow.
And he had 66 tackles last year. He's coming back, and they've been playing lights out already. So, I mean.
Have you seen how Hoxie, their size?
Yeah.
They are huge.
Are they really?
Huge.
They're an impressive team to look at. Of course, Melbourne beat them, was it week 2?
Yeah, and I was there, and it was like 30-20 maybe, but it was Melbourne beat them with the pass.
Yeah.
You can't run the ball on them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a huge.
They're just
defensive line.
nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just a nasty crew.
Is it at Hoxie?
It's at
No,
Osceola.
It's Osceola.
Okay.
But one thing I do, Osceola's got some great athletes, but Hoxie is so fundamental.
Yeah.
So fundamental.
Yes.
And,
Coach Sears has been there forever.
Oh yeah.
And now his son's there too, right?
Yeah. And
He's offensive coordinator.
And you look at their offense. Of course, I'm wowed by their defense. I'm a defensive guy. I'm wowed by defense.
I hate defense.
Mr. 10
We know.
Yeah, we know.
Hey, so
We
this
know.
Greenwood PA game, I'm just rooting for offense. 65-62.
They are 50-50 on yardage, offense or on passing and rushing.
balance.
So that's incredible to me at a 3A level because you see so many that's either sold out
That's
one way
right.
or the other way, and they're just sitting there doing what they want to do, how they're taking it, however they can get it.
No doubt. So number 7 is Newport. They will play at home against Yellville. Number 8, Glen Rose will play at home against Centerpoint. That'll be a great ball game there.
The undefeated Knights.
Yes. And so that Barry was asking me why you chose the other game as the game of the week and not that one. Any statement there?
I know why.
Honestly,
I think it's a better matchup.
I flipped the coin, but I just feel like that there's a lot of intangibles in that game at State. With the Osceola and
Intangibles. Explain that.
Well,
further.
You can't explain it. That's why it's an
You can't
intangible.
explain it. It's just a better game, and I didn't need my face and my phone number posted all over a certain team's locker room.
All right.
Who complains? Who complains out of that group?
Nobody complains out of that group.
Okay.
And then rounding out our top 10 is Camden Harmony Grove after that big win, and they will play at home against Lake Village.
All right, we go to 2A. And, boy, it's going to be a fun week in 2A. Hazen, they are 8-0, and they have not had a problem winning football games.
No.
Have not been tested.
They have played a lot of halves.
Yeah.
Their starters have. So, Hazen, they beat Episcopal 46-0. Number 2, Carlisle beat Baptist Prep 48-13. This game was close early.
It was real close early.
I thought I was kind of shocked by that.
It was. Baptist Prep played the best game. They moved the ninth graders up.
Okay.
They-
And so now they've got guys.
got a little more
And
depth.
a little depth.
This is and they had a really good junior high year this year. So.
Number 3, Bigelow beat JC Westside 41-14. 4, Mark Tree beat Clarendon 44-30. 5, Mount Ida beat Mineral Springs 35-6. Number 6, Dirks beat Poen by 1, 21-20. EPC beat Mariana 62-12. Mineral Springs lost to Mount Ida 35-6, and Clarendon lost to Mark Tree 44-30. Number 10, Conway Christian beat Mountainburg 40-0. I will say this about the Dirks game with Poen. Dirks fumbled 3 times inside the 10.
Don't start making excuses for them. This is Poen.
Well, they won.
No, I know.
They won.
No. This Barry's team there, you know.
I think I'm making excuses for my boys through Dirks.
Okay, yeah.
Because we play Poen this week.
Yeah.
Well, you see, you know, they fumble 3 times inside the 10. They got 2 of their best players are out. Mm-hmm. So Dirks had a lot to overcome.
Yeah.
Adversity.
So this week in 2A, Hazen's going to play Bearden at Bearden. Number 2, Carlisle at England. Number 3, Bigelow. Big game right here at Conway Christian. They're going to come over here to Faulkner County to play. What is Conway Christian? They're the Eagles. The Eagles. Yeah, they play the Eagles.
That's a really good game.
It'll
We'll
be for
there.
the,
We'll
be
beat that
for the
game.
conference championship.
So do we go there after?
Oh, who's going to be at that game?
Spencer.
Oh, never mind.
No, I need a good filmer for there.
Wow.
Sorry, DJ. You get me.
Just think it's catfish, man. Just catfish.
Hey, just so you know, me and Junk, we're going to Quitman. We're going to the Catfish Barn, and then we're going to go watch DJ.
How far is it from Conway to Conway Christian High School?
Probably 25 minutes.
25
No,
minutes.
Conway to Conway Christian.
Oh, Conway to Conway
Yeah,
Christian.
I mean, you're talking from here to here,
So
probably
if we go the first quarter,
3 miles.
If we go the first
Maybe
quarter,
2 to 3 miles.
Conway and Jonesboro.
Oh, it's an easy. You just go down Oak Street or Dave Ward, either way.
Yeah, so we'll leave the first quarter of Conway, Jonesboro, get a boogie car and those guys.
Yeah.
And then head to Conway Christian.
And then
it will not be over at
boogie over
halftime.
to Conway Christian.
It will not be over at halftime, correct? I think
it'll be a good ball game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to be on the sideline?
for a little while, hopefully.
Because I may need DJ to put me up in like the presidential suite or
Hey,
something.
they have a good press box up there.
Do they?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's got the bars.
I heard they got a buffet up there, like barbecue buffets.
Oh yeah, no, it's
I'll be pretty full though from equipment. The
well,
catfish bar.
I didn't get the buffet, but I don't.
Well,
I didn't ask for it.
You're not the fourth best.
I gotta sit on the equipment side though and visit
yeah.
because I got one of my old players. His parents is over there. They're friends of mine.
The equipment, the visiting size isn't high enough to really film. So so go to the home side and
I'll go sit with equipment people and you go do what you got to do.
Don't talk to him.
I won't be with him. I'm going to visit after I eat catfish.
He's not good enough to talk and film.
I'm learning. I'm learning. Okay.
All right, so Bigelow's at Conway Christian. Mark Tree, number 4 at Cross County. Number 5, Mount Ida at Foreman. Number 6, Dirks. They're off. Number 7, here's one right here that might be a pretty good game. EPC is going to go to Des Arc, Prairie County. That one, man, I tell you what, Des Arc is playing.
That's a tough place to play, too.
Yeah.
And EPC has, not only do they have Des Arc this week, they have Mark Tree next week. So
That's right.
And Mark
That's
Tree
right.
just beat Clarendon, who we didn't think that was going to happen.
You didn't?
I didn't. I don't know if I don't remember
EPC
if we
beat Clarendon by 2, I think, didn't they?
Yep.
Like a 46-44 game.
yeah, it was a close ball game.
Conway Christian, number 8. Number 9, Clarendon plays Earl. That could be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Earl's been upsetting some people.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, Poen at Mineral Springs.
Y'all remember who beat Mark Tree? That one loss that game?
Des Arc?
Yeah,
Was
it was
Des Arc?
the
Was it
Desert.
Des Arc? Okay.
There's
no-
no bad games in the two.
Yeah.
There are no bad games.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that will wrap us up with our top 10s, which will take us into our picks.
All right, before I gotta go.
Yeah,
but
get outta here.
Y'all make sure to tick off the Greenwood defense. Okay, so not you, Dusty.
So, Greenwood.
Between the mats.
It has to be us.
Yeah.
We've obviously done a pretty good job of it so far.
Yeah. So talk about how the
PA is going to score 80.
yeah, because last time you did it, they went and shut out the next week. So
That's right. So we're kind of their good luck charm.
yeah.
Tackling fuel.
Hey, so this will be a tough game. I will see them Friday. I'll be there.
That'd be a good one.
Yep. I'll see y'all next week.
Thanks,
All right,
Thomas.
man. See ya.
So did Cabo give his picks?
I got him.
Okay.
I got him. He says he's going to be here next week, but this isn't the first time he's lied to me.
All right, so our Week 8 games of the week. And just to give you a season update on our standings, Kevin Bohannon is 65 of 100. Dusty and Junk Vegas tied for second at 67.
Hey,
and
great
then,
minds, baby.
And then Matty Stats in the lead by 5.
Over there on the island.
72 out of 100. I'm the only one making a C. All right, so first game of Week 8 that we will pick is Poen at Mineral. and I'm going Poen in this
Knew
one
it.
by
I
3.
knew it. Guess what? I'm going to live on Middle Springs Island.
I know
Middle
it.
Springs by 3.
I'm going to go Poen by 7.
And, I'll be honest. I picked them last week when I knew they probably weren't going to win that game because I'm a homer. Kevin said Poen by 6.
All right. Number 2, East Poinsett County at Des Arc. Like Junk said earlier, this should be a good ball game, but I am going to go with EPC in this one by 2.
I might be on the island again because I'm going with DA, baby, by 3.
That's a really tough one to read right now with Desert.
It really is.
But I just EPC by 12. I just got a feeling with Givens having to break out.
EPC by 7, says Kevin. So for 2 games, I picked the only one that's picked.
It's nice knowing you, buddy.
You're right. Well, let's be honest. I'm throwing Hail Marys anyway right now.
All right, number 3, Earl at Clarendon. I'm going Clarendon by 3.
I got Clarendon by 3 also.
Yeah, I got Clarendon by 7.
And Kevin Bohannon picked Earl by 8.
Oh, so he's on the island.
Yeah.
3 island picks out of 3 picks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Number 4, Bigelow at Conway Christian, and I love what Coach Kramer has done with these boys over at Conway Christian this year after 2 really tough seasons. But I'm going to go with Bigelow by 7.
Yeah, I go Bigelow 17.
Yeah, I got Bigelow by 17 as well.
Kevin Bigelow 14.
All right, number 5, Rising at Barton. What a clash of the old school Titans here.
This could be a little bit of a trap game because Barton has played some close games this year.
Barton is explosive on offense.
Yeah.
I mean, they get the first conference game is 49-48 with Fordyce.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, they gave Fordyce all they want. They put that whole conference on notice because at that point Fordyce wasn't giving up.
That's right.
They didn't give up 60 at the time.
Well, I am going with y'all on this one because I've got Barton picked by 6.
Okay. I got Rising by 3, but I don't think you're crazy.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think they'll score, but they're not tackling Braden Dupuis. It's Rising by 18.
Yeah.
All right. Well, 18, and Kevin's got him by 20, so, Matt, you are on the island.
Well, and I'm just going flat out off of what Lake Village did against Rising last
right.
week.
Hey, 2 weeks ago, Fordyce had them beat.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, Lake Village, who we just mentioned, at Camden Harmony Grove. I've got Camden Harmony Grove by 14.
I got Camden Harmony Grove by 10.
If Camden Harmony Grove's defense shows up, they'll score 21 points because that's what they did against Fordyce. So
Yeah.
Camden Harmony
3
Grove
pick sixes.
Yeah, I got Camden Harmony Grove by 27.
Okay. Kevin's got him by 20.
All right, number 7, Gurdon at Smackover.
This was tough for me.
I've got Smackover by 10.
I got Smackover by 2.
You don't know which team's going to show up.
Yeah, I mean,
on
it's the
either
team
one
in
of
Middle Springs beat by 40 points.
Yeah. And, I watched Smackover play. Game I watched play, great defense.
Yeah.
Game, that I watched, Gurdon play, not so great. I'm going Smackover by 11.
Yeah. Smackover scored some points last week against Prescott.
And they didn't get clocked until
This is
late.
a shocker.
Yeah.
Kevin's on the island on this one. I would have thought one of us might have been the one to pick Smackover, but Kevin picked Gurdon by 7. He's by himself.
Okay. Number 8, Center Point, the undefeated Knights at Glen Rose. This is going to be a good ball game, but I've got Glen Rose by 3.
I got Glen Rose by 3.
Every time you go
6. Sorry, 6. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Every time you go Glen Rose, it's always going to be going to be a battle.
Yeah.
I got Glen Rose by 16.
Especially at Glen Rose.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can throw the records away because Glen Rose played Malvern. All right, so
Yeah. This one of those, it's all about scheduling. Center Point, and don't get me wrong, they haven't played bad teams, but Glen Rose has played some really, really good teams.
Center Point is just taking care of business.
That's right.
So you say 16?
16.
All right, Kevin's got Glen Rose by 3.
Okay. Number 9, Hoxie at Osceola. And as much as I love the Seminoles and as good as they've been playing the last 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going Hoxie in this one by 3.
I got Hoxie by 4.
I'll go Hoxie by 14.
Kevin said Hoxie by 7.
All right. Number 10, Melbourne at Quitman. And I'm going with the Bearcats in this one. As much as I love Mr. DJ Mars, I'm going to have to go against him. I'm going Melbourne by 10.
DJ, man, I got your back, dude. Quitman by 4.
I love it.
Oh, I want to go. My body's telling me no.
My body.
Yeah. Oh man, Carter Bray by 14, baby.
So you going Melbourne 14?
Melbourne by 14.
And Kevin picked him by 13.
I will say, I did see is either a Twitter video or something where
See
Quitman was
Nasser?
practicing this morning.
Oh yeah.
That was DJ
rain.
posted that.
I love it.
He said, what did he say? Something at the Q. Nice weather at the Q.
Yeah, nice weather at the Q. Okay. He'll get him an indoor next year. Don't worry about it.
Number 11, Boonville at Lavaca. I've got the Bearcats bouncing back by 14.
I got Boonville by 10.
Yeah, Boonville by 21.
And Kevin's got him by 14.
Number 12, Malvern at Nashville. I got Malvern, the Leopards, by 7.
I got Malvern by 14.
Yeah, I got Malvern by 15.
Okay. Kevin's got him by 22.
All right. Number 13, Lamar at Clinton. I've got Clinton in this one by 13.
I've got Clinton by 1.
There will be points scored in this one.
Yeah.
So
Well, let me tell you, I pulled these two schedules up side by side.
it's 40 and 50 points every week.
Yeah.
But they're scored like the differences.
Yeah.
It's almost identical.
Yeah.
Game to game.
Yeah. It's like when I looked at it, I was like, well, you're going to pick six points, but what's the total going to be?
That's
150?
right. That's right.
I mean, I'll go Clinton by 6 because it's at Clinton, but I mean,
That was why I did. I went with the home team.
yeah.
Kevin went Clinton, so Maddie. Oh wait, you picked Clinton.
Yeah.
Didn't you? Okay, yeah.
Number 14, Blytheville at Pocahontas. I've got Pocahontas by 8.
I got Pocahontas by 9,
I believe it's going to be Pocahontas by 21.
and Kevin's got him by 17.
So where are we at on the Connor Baker touchdown?
That's a
Does
Thomas
anybody
question.
know?
Yeah, I don't know. I know he had some more Friday night.
Okay. Number 15, Stuttgart at Lone Oak. I've got Stuttgart by 10.
Stuttgart by 4. This could be a really, really good game.
You know, they're playing at Lone Oak, and Lone Oak
That's-
will play to the level of competition. You know,
Harding Academy.
yeah, and Coach Norton gets them to play hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going Lone Oak by 7.
Oh.
I like it.
And then Kevin's got Stuttgart by 8. So you are on the Lonely Island.
That's where separation begins, boys.
The Jack Rabbit Island.
The Lone Oak Island.
Number 16, Elkins at Gentry. I'm going with the Elks in this one by 8.
I got the Elks by 8, baby. I'm an Elks fan.
You know, Elkins explosive offense, Gentry explosive offense, but Elkins by 14.
And Kevin's got him by 24.
Whoa. Number 17, Shiloh at Prairie Grove. And like we said earlier, this could determine the 1 seed, possibly, in the 5A West. I've got Shiloh by 13.
I got Shallow by 17.
Yeah, I'm going to go Shiloh by 28, but do not be surprised at the halftime score being close.
It's close at half. Kevin's got Shallow by 24.
Okay, number 18, Camden Fairview at Hot Springs. I would love to watch this football
Boy, me
game.
too.
I do have Camden Fairview in this one by 8.
I got Camden Fairview by 5.
I'm going to go with the upset here with the Hot Springs by 8.
I like that pick.
Well, Kevin went with Hot Springs by 3. I can't blame you.
It's a coin toss
Yeah,
game.
it really is.
I mean,
Really
they're
is.
both hot.
Yeah. Number 19, Nettleton at Valley View. Big playoff implications in this one. I've got Valley View by 3.
I got Valley View by 1 because they are the home team.
That's why I went with them.
I went Valley View by 3. I mean,
And Kevin, Valley View by 2.
We got a pretty consistent spread there.
Yeah, we do.
Number 20, Batesville at Batesville Southside. And like we said, the first time these cross-county schools, or cross-town schools, I guess, have faced each other on the football field.
across the river.
Yeah, across
that's
the
right.
river. No love lost there, but I'm going with Big Brother. I'm going Batesville by 1.
If it was just off of two teams playing each other, I would pick Southside. But with the implications involved, I'm going Batesville by 8.
Yeah, I'm going Batesville by 14. It's just too much bad blood.
Yeah,
What did you say, Matt, on your score?
1.
You said how much?
14.
And then Kevin said Batesville by 6.
All right. Number 21, Maumelle at Valonia. And Valonia has a chance to secure playoff seeding here. And I'm going to have to go with Valonia in this one by 6.
I went Valonia by 3.
I went Valonia by 7.
And Kevin picked Valonia by 10. Coach Lingrell's done a good job this year.
He really has.
Especially with all that graduates.
That's right.
I mean, and going into a new conference that, I mean,
Yeah.
is as athletic as it
Yeah.
is, I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah. Number 22, Mills at Morrilton. I'm going to say Mills is going to have a little bit of a letdown this week, boys, and I'm going with the Devil Dogs by 1.
Okay, so here's the deal. I picked Mills, but I only picked him by 3 because I'm like you. Hey, they beat Whitehall by what? 1, 5, 4, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They slid by BB after BB's quarterback goes out.
Right.
I mean, it could go either way.
And I think Morrilton's going to have. I mean, they're at Morrilton, which is it's a tough place to go play anyway.
It is.
And then they've got some playoff seedings to play for here. So.
And that win over Pine Bluff Friday was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to what Thomas was saying a while ago about Robinson being in that position before. This first time Mills has been successful at this level in a long time. And it's great that they are, but knowing how to bounce back,
knowing how to win.
I mean, I got Mills by 7, but it wouldn't surprise me if it goes the other way real quick.
And Kevin said Mills by 5.
On the island, Devil Dogs don't let me down. Number 23, Pulaski Academy at Greenwood. Here's your little fuel, Greenwood. I got PA by 17.
Ooh, I picked them by 12.
Yeah, I got PA by 28. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's
Didn't he say don't make them mad?
I'm not trying to. It's just,
I thought we were the ones supposed to do that.
Here's the thing. There's more that goes into it than offense and defense. It's you guys spend weeks preparing for this special teams game.
I agree.
No doubt. I mean, this is not. I picked him by 12. He was 17. It has nothing to do with Greenwood.
No, I agree.
It's just you can be a really good team and have it snowball on you real quick.
That's
right.
And that's no disrespect to Greenwood whatsoever, but it is something you got to be wary of.
Mm-hmm.
That works when you know you're going to score. If you don't know you're going to score, maybe not. But if you know that your offense is good enough to score, then logic tells you if I get the ball more times than they do, I'm going to win every time.
But if they get 2 onside kicks and then you don't, it very easily goes.
You're down 21.
You're down 21 instead of being down 7.
That's right.
That's right. That's exactly right.
You can score. You can score. Harrison's had that happen several times when they play them. They scored every possession. But PA got those onside kicks, and that
was the difference. That's exactly right. So Kevin has them by 12.
All right. So PA is a unanimous pick here between the mats. Number 24.
Let me say one more thing, though. Everybody says the same thing about PA and how it works and all that. Nobody else will do it.
And it's nuts, really. That nobody else is trying
Nobody else will do it.
Mimic it,
Well, it's one of those things that's just hard to do in a public school with the amount of time you have.
Sure.
They've been doing it since they were 10 years old.
Those kids are programmed. They're running the exact same plays I say programmed in a nice way. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no.
But they're running the same plays in 7th grade as they are 8th grade, as 9th grade.
5th grade.
We
saw it.
You run the same concepts. Well, you grow into those concepts.
That's right.
That's why we was talking about Desark last week. They went back to Flexbone. They've been doing that since.
Yeah. If it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
Number 24, Little Rock Catholic. The Rockets will travel down to Eldo and take on the Cats. I've got the Rockets in this one by 13.
I got Catholic by 3. I really thought you might pick them.
Catholic by 10.
Yeah.
And Kevin has Catholic by 8.
I would not be shocked if El Dorado won this ball game, though.
Me either.
Depends on which team shows up.
Yeah. And the last pick of the week for week 9 is the Bryant Hornets at North Little Rock. I've got Bryant staying undefeated in the state of Arkansas to bring up that big week 10 matchup with Conway. I've got Bryant by 13.
I got North Little Rock. Not really. I got Bryant by 18.
21 for Bryant, please.
And 21 for Kevin.
All right, that'll wrap us up for our week 9 picks. And
hey, thanks, Dusty. Hey, just holler at me, and I'm glad to go with you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us.
DJ, we'll be there Friday night, baby.
All right, well, that will take us into our player highlights of the week. And like I've always said, my favorite segment of the show. Junk, you want to start us off, my man?
Sure. I'll start over here with Nasser Donahue. Is that right? Donahue? Donahue. I like it. All right, Nasser Donahue from Quitman, 28 carries, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns, 11 of 22 for 200 yards, 1 touchdown passing. He didn't do nothing but play a lot of football.
I mean, how about accounting for 529 total yards of offense?
Wow. Trevor Hensley from Quitman, 18 carries, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
In Fountain Lake, a name you've heard, I believe, almost every week, Mr. Juan Diggs, 10 carries, 262 yards, 4 4 touchdowns.
He's the one. Peyton Mills, Cutter Morning Star, another 8-man team, 22 of 40, 470 yards, 3 touchdowns. I believe those two teams played each other.
That's insane numbers there, too.
Also at Cutter is Clayton Weldon, 9 catches, 188 yards, 1 touchdown.
In Conway, Mr. Donovan Amolo, 13 of 15 for 154 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and also a rushing score. Boogie Carr, 8 carries, 45 yards and a score, 1 catch for 4 yards. And Elijah Smith, 8 carries for 93 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 catch for 13 yards. And if you didn't know, that is Manny's brother.
Is
brother.
it?
Yeah.
And he's a senior too, I think.
Isn't he? He's a junior.
He's a junior.
Yep.
Man, how would that be playing behind Boogie Carr? Yeah. You're probably as good as your brother. But Kel Busby from PA, 31 of 38, 344 yards, 5 touchdowns. 8 carries, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. That's a night right there.
That's a heck of a night.
Kenny Jordan from PA, 14 carries, 97 yards, 1 catch, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. I know something's wrong there. I bet that's 19. No, it wouldn't be 19 catches. Anyway, it's probably not 1 catch. Anyway, he had a good night. John Mark Charette from PA, 5 catches, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyson McCarroll, 5 catches, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Star City, Mason Taylor, 6 of 10 for 164 yards, 2 scores, and 9 tackles, 3 of those for a loss and 1 sack. Austin Wilkerson, 82-yard kickoff return for a score, and also had 4 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown, and then turned around and made 4 tackles on defense. C.J. Turner, 11 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and Kevin Johnson, 13 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. They were in the backfield a bunch.
Did they play offense? Over in Batesville, Rhett McDonald was 9 for 14, 181 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Elkins, Mr. Deshaun Chairs, is the real deal. 22 carries, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dizzy Dean, the quarterback for the Elks, 16 of 21 passing for 2 scores and a rushing touchdown. Aiden Williams, 7 catches, 92 yards and a score. And Stone Dean from Elkins, 4 catches, 61 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Got to be related, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, and then one more there was Landon Haney.
Oh, sorry about that.
8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and an interception for a touchdown.
Yep.
They had a whole roster, didn't they?
They did.
Little Rock Christian, Walker White. Let's see here, 186 yards passing. I thought I updated that, but maybe I think I may have put it on the back page. Anyway, I'll go ahead. He had 186 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 66 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Ronnie Anoke, 27 carries, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Cade Bowman, 4 catches, 86 yards, and Tate Collins, 4 catches, 76 yards.
I'll get to see all those guys up close and personal Friday night in the Briar.
You sure will, because you're on the chain gang.
I am. Over to Valley View we go. Mr. Carson Turley, the quarterback there for Valley View, 14 of 21 for 125 yards, 1 touchdown. Also had 18 carries and 61 yards and a score. Talked to Mr. Ty Miller, and Carson played with them early in baseball.
That's right.
He said he's a heck of an athlete. Slade Caldwell, 15 carries, 88 yards and a score.
That takes us to Newport. DJ Marshall, 7 for 15, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. Chris Young, 15 carries for 84 yards and a score.
Fort Smith Southside, Isaac Gregory had 29 carries for 260 yards and 5 touchdowns.
This kid has been playing the ball, son.
Heck of a ball game there. Carter Zimmerman was 5 of 9 for 63 yards and 17 carries for 240 yards and 3 scores.
That's 500 yards between 2 players. That's rushing.
Pretty salty.
Yeah, it really is. Over at Maumelle, Weston Pierce, 9 for 22, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 carries, 157 yards. Alan Timmons, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns receiving. Jaden Worsham, 86 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns.
In El Dorado, Shadarius Plummer, 20 carries, 107 yards and a score, 4 catches, 93 yards and a score, and he also threw for a touchdown. John Brooks Elia and El Dorado, 12 of 22 for 274 yards through the air and 3 scores. DeAndre Burns, and his name suits him well because he has some burners. 4 catches for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns and 4 carries for 66 yards.
Ramaj Ware from Mineral Springs. This sophomore, I played football with his dad.
Okay.
Great kid, great family. Sophomore had 19 tackles Friday night. And then KT Thomas at Mineral Springs also had 14 tackles.
Over in West Memphis, Mr. Keelan Mills, 12 of 22 for 255 yards and 3 touchdowns and 5 carries for 21 yards and a score. Jeremiah McGrude, 11 carries, 98 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 catches for 56 yards and a score. And Jarrell Shepard, 7 catches, 141 yards and a score, 6 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown.
All right, so Braylon Russell over at Benton, 27 carries, 279 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 catches for 29 yards. Clint Hooten at Benton, 14 for 22, 181 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 carries, 6 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 6 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Walker Hicks at Benton, 12 tackles, 1 sack, and 91-yard interception to the house.
At Bentonville West, Jake Casey, 403 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Mr. Nick Bell had 6 catches of those, 161 yards and a score. Ty Durham had 4 catches for 104 yards and 2 scores. And then Jackson Brust, 4 catches, 108 yards, and 2 scores.
Jack Vines did it every way you could Friday night from
Guarantee
Bologna.
you.
He had 5 carries for 61 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 catches, 99 yards, a touchdown, a 13-yard touchdown pass, and a 60-yard punt return for a touchdown.
That's pretty awesome. Scored 4 different ways.
He did.
And Parkview, they've got a few here. Mr. Eric McGee, 12 of 14 through the air for 233 yards and 2 touchdowns. Omarion Robinson, 1 touchdown pass and 41-yard touchdown reception. Montario Elston, 7 catches for 163 yards, 2 scores. Cameron Settles, 16 carries, 142 yards and a touchdown. And Darian Bennett, 14 carries, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I think they just say, all right, everybody go out.
Well, you know, it's crazy as Thomas talks about they can't throw the ball, and then they've got these crazy numbers.
Oh, man, over at Bryant, Jordan Walker, 15 and 19, 146 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 carries, 2 yards for a touchdown. James Martin from Bryant, 13 carries, 61 yards, 1 touchdown. Mytorian Singleton from Bryant, 6 catches, 57 yards. And Cason Trickey, 3 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown.
Over in Bentonville, a name you heard plenty on this show, Mr. Josh Ficklin, 12 carries, 173 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It's a pretty good yard per carry average there.
He's having a heck of a year.
Carter Nye, the quarterback in Bentonville, 17 of 20 for 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. C.J. Brown, 7 catches, 91 yards and a score. And Eli Brooks, 2 catches for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Sam Sanders from Catholic, 5 for 5 for 55 yards, 1 score. And then Brooks Ward from Catholic, 2 catches, 38 yards, a touchdown. And then Dominic Keaton, Catholic, 11 carries, 167 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Mr. Connor Baker from Pocahontas was 4 of 4 through the air for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had 14 carries for 225 yards and 4 touchdowns, and also had 7 tackles.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Just another
crazy.
day at the office.
That's absolutely crazy. Donovan Witten, my quarterback down in Arkadelphia, you know, he's one I think is pretty special. He's 20 for 33 Friday night in their win against Ashdown. 200 yards, 5 touchdowns, 32 yards rushing the ball, and 1 touchdown. Carter Babb, another kid that's pretty impressive, had 4 catches, 57 yards, and a score. Trip Campbell, 7 catches, 35 yards, 2 touchdowns.
In Nashville, Trey Hopkins, 17 carries, 156 yards, 2 scores. Sloan Perrin, 10 of 13 for 203 yards through the air with 3 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. And then Alex Mendiola, 5 catches, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
The Perrin kid at Nashville's having a good season.
Yes, he is.
Over at Greenwood, Hunter Houston, 24 for 48.
That's slinging it.
Threw the ball 48 times, 416 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he had 2 scores running the football. Grant Carnes, 11 catches, 141 yards, 3 touchdowns. Peyton Preston, 5 catches, 116 yards. L.J. Robbins, 10 catches, 104 yards. Jake Glover, 21 carries, 100 yards, and 1 touchdown.
In Lake Village, John Marquez Porter, 236 yards, 4 touchdowns passing, and 90 yards and 1 touchdown rushing. And then Sendarian Webb, 14 tackles, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery.
You know, we don't hear much about Lake Village down there. And they've not been real good in the past, but they're playing some ball this year.
They are. They really are.
Over at Prairie Grove, Ethan Miller, 13 carries, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns. Connor Wetzel, 18 carries, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns.
In Hoxie, Mr. Precton Wilkerson, 10 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Sage Treadwell, 109 yards, 3 touchdowns passing.
Cedric Hawkins, running back at Stuttgart, had 202 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns. Deontay Clark, 19 carries for 117 yards, 4 for 7, throwing the ball for 60 yards and a touchdown. And, yep, that's it for Stuttgart.
And then in Gurdon, Shelton Smith, 133 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns.
Cody Turner over at Rivercrest, 17 carries, 137 yards, 3 touchdowns. Michael Rainier, Rivercrest, 3 catches, 134 yards, 35 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wyatt Lancaster, 12 tackles, 2 sacks.
What was the Turner kid's name that was quarterback at Rivercrest?
Caden.
Is he kin to this kid, I wonder?
Surely you'd think somewhere.
Yeah, I would think so. All right, over in England, Mr. Chandler Cheek, 14 of 20 for 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing.
Wouldn't Caden end up being like the defensive player of the year, and he could have been the offensive player of the year?
I think so.
All right, Marcus Wimberly at Bauxite, 15 carries, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns.
All right, in EPC, Mr. Dennis Gaines, what a year he's having.
Man.
17 carries, 221 yards, and 4 scores.
That is running the ball. Bryson Villarreal over at Pottsville, 29 carries, 205 yards.
Prescott, Mr. Travion Dickens, 19 carries, 227 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Let me tell you, I hope he hears this because I think he'll get a kick out of it. But Coach Glass, he sends me like these stat cards that like somebody else could understand. I have no idea what they say. I'll show them to you because I'm just like, I see there was a touchdown here.
Right.
There's like 4 different cards, and like they have all these numbers and different things in it, but it never says like this player, this many. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
He's got his own system.
He does. And I'm just like, hey, thanks, Coach. And then I hope I can find the stats somewhere else. Travion Reed over at Desart. Look at this. Listen to this. 10 carries for 290 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Good night. 29 yards a carry.
A tote.
Not bad.
No.
At Marion, Mr. Jalen Smith, 186 yards and 4 touchdowns running the football.
Over at Shiloh Christian, Bodie Neal, name we hear every single week, 10 catches, 179 yards, 1 touchdown. Eli Wisdom, his quarterback, 16 to 31, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, 18 carries, 217 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Eli. And then Bo Williams, another stud there, running back, 17 carries, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns.
In Farmington, Mr. Sam Wells, 96 yards rushing and 192 yards passing. And then Russell Hodge had 14 carries for 118 yards and a score.
Old Joe Trusty over at Alma, 15 for 26, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 carries, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns.
In Boonville, Mr. Trace Hall, 11 carries for 112 yards and a score. And Cody Elliott, 17 carries for 110 yards.
Job Chalk down at Clinton, 18 for 30, 278 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Very nice. In Charleston, Mr. Braden Scott, they were singing his praises earlier and for good reason. 18 of 20 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 carries for 117 yards, and 3 scores. Reese Marechka, 6 catches, 146 yards, 1 touchdown, and a rushing score.
Here's another 2A back that's having a great year, Jason Sullivan. You know, we talked about Dennis Gaines. Mm-hmm. We talked about I just said his name, Travion Reed. And then you look here at Jason Sullivan at Carlisle, 14 carries, 273 yards, 5 touchdowns.
What a year.
How do you pick the player of the week from between those two?
Right, exactly. At CAC, Mr. Grayson Wilson having a good year at quarterback for the Mustangs. He was 11 of 16 for 129 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, and also had 5 carries for 95 yards and 2 scores.
All right. At Lakeside, Skylar Purifoy. I'm trying to think if I've doubled up here. 4 catches, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. But I've got some more from Lakeside. Layden Matthews, 4 catches, 121, 2 touchdowns. That's the same. Something's wrong here because that's the same stats, different names. Anyway, one of those two guys had a good game. Brady Arnold at Lakeside had 21 tackles.
All right, so at Conway Christian, Mr. Colton Loper, one of the sophomores over there,
is impressive,
playing well for Coach Kramer, had 9 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 interceptions, one of which he returned for a touchdown, 2 forced fumbles, and he also kicked 4 out of 5 PATs. And so Cooper Johnson, the senior leader over there for the Conway Christian Eagles there, he had 2 catches for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Fayetteville, the Purple Dogs, Drake Lindsey, 36 for 58. You thought Hunter Houston threw the ball.
He had to get some ice on that shoulder
Had
after
to.
the game.
417 yards, 3 touchdowns. Latch McKinney, 10 carries, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kalen Morris, 12 catches, 145, and 2 touchdowns.
And in Van Buren, Malachi Henry, 7 catches, 145 yards.
Okay.
And that will wrap us up for our highlights for Players of the Week, and which will take us into Players of the Week.
Yeah, so this is week 9, right?
This will be for the week 8.
Right. So week 9, we're doing week 8 Player of the Week.
Yep.
Because I always forget to change it. 2A/8-man. This week's going to go to 2A from Deslark, Trevion Reed. I would like to give a special honorable mention to Jason Sullivan as well.
Right.
3A, Nasser Donahue from Quitman. 4A, Connor Baker from Pocahontas, who's won it, I don't even know how many times, but how do you not give it to him with those numbers?
Yeah, he's gonna have like second cousins in T-shirts.
Absolutely. Can you imagine, though, of all the other awards he gets every week?
Yeah.
5A, Jack Vines from Valonia, Mr. Scored Every Way You Can. 6A, Keelan Mills from West Memphis. And then 7A, Carter Nye from Bentonville.
Very good. He's won one.
He has, yeah.
All right, so that'll take us into our college ball talk. And so the Hogs had a week off and got rested and healed up and got the ship righted, got the win over BYU.
Yes.
And I don't think the bye could have come at a better time.
Let me tell you what deflated me, though. All right?
All right.
I'm looking Saturday. I'm eating my steak. We're having a good night. I look over, look at the scores, and Liberty has beat BYU by 1,000.
Well, hey, we took the air out of their sails, man.
I guess so.
So the Hogs will travel to take on the 3-4 Auburn Tigers, who Auburn is. If you followed SEC football much this year, they've had just so much drama and adversity circling that program with the coaching news. And is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Is he going to get fired?
Yeah.
It's kind of been up in the air. But
Let me say, though, bring it on themselves.
I agree. I wasn't crazy about the hire when they hired him.
That was a stretch.
Yeah. And so the Tigers are averaging 22.3 points a game on offense. They're giving up 28.3 on defense. They're giving up over 200 yards a game rushing the football.
And they've been in some games.
They have. And I think with that stat alone gives me hope for the Hogs.
Right, because we're going to run the ball.
Yeah. Auburn's lost 4 out of their last 5, with their only win during that stretch coming in a 17-14 overtime win against Missouri. So I will say Tank Bigsby, their running back, is a stud. Like, we'll have to stop him.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's kind of funny because everybody's down about the Hogs this year.
Right.
But should we be?
No, I mean, like we've said numerous times, we're literally 2 or 3 plays away from this being a totally different conversation.
Yeah. So we win the Texas A&M game, right? Okay. Then you lose to
Bama,
and Mississippi State, who throttled A&M
without your starting quarterback.
Right. So, you know, and we've got some other starters that are out.
Sure. We need to win this game.
Yep.
It's a game we should win. Win this game, and everything will kind of get back to rolling again. I put on here, the game's going to come down to how well we shut down their run, and then obviously put them in passing situations because they've got a freshman quarterback.
Right, so right.
I've got the Hogs by 13.
I like it. I'll take the Hogs by 9.
All right. So UCA was also off last week, and they will celebrate homecoming at Estes Stadium this Saturday against the North Alabama. I don't even know what they are. Lions. And
they got real. When I played, they had real lions in a cage.
Did they really?
True story.
Wow. It will be at 4 o'clock. UCA's tied for the conference lead.
Undefeated in conference.
2-0. They're tied with Jacksonville State. North Alabama's 1-6 on the season, 0-3 in conference play. They lost to Kennesaw State 40-34 3 weeks ago, and last week lost to Eastern Kentucky 56-53.
That's your son's alma mater.
I think he graduated.
He's been there 8 years.
He hadn't sent for money, so I don't really know. All right, so Ouachita moved up to number 3 in the rankings in D2.
They keep winning.
Man, they do. Beat SAU 63-31. This game right here could be an interesting one. They play East Central on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So that would be
I don't think East Central is as good as they were last year. So last year they beat Harding, and Harding still won the conference because I think OBU beat East Central. Somebody else beat I want to say somebody else beat OBU and Harding beat OBU.
Yeah.
So they ended up with the win. Or somebody else beat East Central and Harding beat OBU. So head to head. But they're not as good this year.
Okay.
I mean, they're still going to be good.
Sure.
But I think OBU's pretty solid.
Yeah, they are. Number 20, Harding beat UAM 56-43.
Track meet.
Yeah, and they played Northwestern Oklahoma at 4 on Saturday. UCO took one on the chin on the road at Washburn, 37-9. That one was a good ball game for a half. UCO's defense played out.
Did you go?
No, I just watched it.
Yeah,
they played outstanding in the first half. Held that Washburn bunch, which is leading the MIAA in offense, held them to 48 yards in the first quarter. And just the offense couldn't keep them off the field.
Hey, who do we need to call over there about having to pay to watch the darn football game?
I don't know. I guess it'd be the MIAA commissioner.
Okay. That guy.
Yeah. And then Arkansas State lost again 38-18 to fall to 2-6 on the season. They will take on South Alabama and at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
UCA's playing at Estes?
Yes.
UNA Stadium is one of the nicest in the country. It's pretty impressive.
Is it? All right. You got anything else, my man?
That's it. Let's rock and roll.
We'll catch y'all next week, which will be week 10, the final week of the regular season.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
You've been listening to Between the Mats, your year-round source for Arkansas high school sports with Matt McJunkins and Matt Wilcox. Produced by Carl Spears, and special thanks to our sponsor, American Safeguard Insurance. I'm JB Brazil. Be sure to join us next week for another episode of Between the Mats.